Hello everybody and welcome to Apex Legends Season 15 story, Reflections of the Moon, where Seer and Catalyst are going to butt heads because the games are now on Boreas's moon. Not exactly what he planned, but it is what happened, so without further ado, let's begin. All that is seen. As we step off the ship onto Boreas, I tip my hat down to shield myself from the cries of the crowd. Not all our fans, some are from protesters. They're here for me, and I know, but the fences align our path from the ship to the Syndicate building, keeping them from swarming us. Oh yeah, I hear you, amigos. The Octane was on fire! Octavio makes a ridiculous spectacle next to me as usual. Catalyst, the third on our squad, strides ahead of us both. She spoke barely 10 words to me during the match. She blames me for the loss of her home, my mother, Nim? I'm not actually sure how to pronounce that one. Unless it's like Nin. I'm not sure. Always told me an honest discussion can open one's heart. I believe it's true. But despite my best efforts, Catalyst refuses to have a conversation with me. I pause at the thought of my name. I don't know how to pronounce that at all. I glance down at my quiet phone. Why do you keep looking at your phone, compadre? You finally getting on stream with the cool kids? Oh dear. He peers over my shoulder, invading my personal space faster than I thought. Faster than I can comprehend. I shake him off. My mother was supposed to call me. She always calls before and after a match. Why? It's how she shows she cares. Surely your father calls you. Ooh. Obi, big mistake, dude. Ha. No way, his crusty secretary maybe, and it's always for some boring photo op. Something hard hits my hat and half-finished drink splatters against my wrist, sending my phone flying. I avoid a can that nearly hits my shoulder, another gift from the crowd. I suppose it's better than the rocks the other children used to throw at me as a child. Wow, that's me! Hey, stop that. Catalyst steps in, shielding me from further assault. One protester pauses mid-throw. Why are you defending him? He's a sellout. Hurting him doesn't help anyone, does it? I'm actually surprised Catalyst stepped in for this. Perhaps she's not as closed off as I thought. The protester responds by lowering his arm. He settles for a glare at me. I hope you rot. Lovely! Catalyst heads into the Syndicate building to collect her share of today's winnings, and I follow after her, catching her as the doors close behind us. Thank you. Not many here have done me such a kindness. Don't mistake me for a friend. Nothing's changed before you brought the games here. I had a life on Clio, so did all my friends. We have a reason to be angry. Sorry, have every reason to be angry. Yes, I understand that. I wanted to apologise for everything. You think it's that easy, do you? That you can apologise for everything and people will forgive you? Please allow me to explain at least. My intentions were pure, Pure, I assure you. Mr. Silver agreed that the new stage for the Apex games would be on Boreas. I fight in the games. I know how destructive they can be. I would never have brought them to our broken moon. That was his doing. Yeah. You want forgiveness? You can't even take responsibility for your own actions. I do not lie, Eduardo Silva. Let's look at what you have done. This was your idea. Your campaign. We all saw what you were doing. We all saw you doing everything you could to bring the games here. And that's somehow not your fault. If things had gone as I'd requested, things are how they are. You want to know what your campaign actually accomplished? It tore us from our jobs, it destroyed our community, it forced us back into a place that doesn't allow us to be ourselves. Okay. I'm here to fix that, to actually support my community in the aftermath. If you feel that way, why did you help me just now? Because violence won't change anything. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to see some friends. Okay. Sounds like Obi's heartbroken. And Octane's confused. Dude, your mother is a weird lady. I love you this, I love you that. What kind of a sappy, boring text message is it? You little bastard. I notice Octane beside me again. He's retrieved my phone and is snooping through it. I snatch it away from him. It's rude to invade the privacy of others. And she calls to show her love and support. I fail to see how that is weird. But no calls today, so that means she hates you now. Dude, Octane has less tact than Jeremy Clarkson. Jesus Christ. Of course not. This is very unusual. I should go home, make sure everything is well. You sure she doesn't hate you? Welcome to the club, amigo. He shrugs, but comes with me to collect our winnings, and we slip out the building's back door to avoid the crowds. The streets outside are otherwise well kept and mostly barren. The citizens of Boreas well into their workday to maintain the planet. It's a fine-tuned machine. Despite the empty streets, I find myself turning down the back roads, old habits, I suppose, born of a familiar anxiety. Beside me, Octane twitches restlessly and makes no attempt to restrain his complaints about my pace. Though it is a brisk one, still he follows me all the way to my childhood home. I open the door to an eerie silence. Meh. Huh? I don't think they're here, compadre. Gestures towards the living room. My heart stops at what I see. Broken windows, bricks on the floor, and blood. Oh, shit. Please tell me that Eduardo Silva didn't kill his mother. That's just dumb. Really dumb. Even for someone as big-headed as the fake Eduardo. Eduardos and Eduardons. A sea of glass drowns the floor and attack. A violation. Mother! Father! There's no response but the wind howling through the wound in my home. The windows have been shattered, bookshelves toppled, photographs disgraced, but no sign of my parents. I search through the den and find messages of hate, weeks worth, directed at my parents, blaming them for me, for my part in bringing the games here, for my curse. The curse. How long have my parents been suffering? Looks like something went down, amigo. Your detective skills are legendary. Thanks. This one time I found a stash of secrets behind a portrait in Pop's study and... Yeah, stop talking. That was sarcasm. Being paired with you, perhaps I am indeed cursed. Observation numero dos. Blood. Around the window frames, yes, that is blood from breaking in, not from combat. Unusual. Father built ways to protect the family, and few could move. With the grace of Mother, if they were attacked, they would have fought. Okay, so no fight. Maybe your folks just went on high-stakes vacation. Enough. It is your father I must speak to. You think he's taken them? No. When going against Pop, he needs you to know he beat you. Trust me, if he took your folks, he'd be bragging. I can kind of see that, yeah. I understand where he's coming from. I mean, every time that Eduardo ended up getting a one-up on Octane himself, he bragged about it. Like, needlessly and relentlessly. Your father has twisted every deal and gone back on every word he has spoken to me. His lies have sparked a fire that burns Boreas and Cleo. He may not have taken my parents, but he's responsible for their suffering. Eduardo Silva will find my parents and will find them unharmed. To the average Outlands denizen, he can be a hard man to get a hold of, but to his son, you want to go mano a mano with Paps? Yeah, I'd watch that. I'll give the old man a call. Octane, do you even have a brain in there? Octavio Silva has no intelligence, apparently. Well, look at us teaming up, amigo. Once rivals, now forced to work together for a greater, cooler good. Oh no, please. Obi and Octi ride again. I'm not screaming that. That's too cringe for me to read out. I feel like my teeth would fall out in cringe. You must stop immediately. You prefer Soctane? No, because that is a bit of a giggity jerky reference. Where is your father? My parents can wait no longer. Okay, his father does not answer. I am surprised that Eduardo sends for us. It is a sinister limousine, available only to the Outland's most wealthy and devious of creatures. There was a time when Octavio would never bask in his family's affluence, yet little by little the boy becomes ensnared by his father. Okay. We land in front of a memorial site on Cleo. The Syndicate Corps are packing up drilling equipment. They've found whatever they're looking for. Troubling, particularly as the Corps was once a beacon of safety for hope on the Outlands, and now they're little more than Eduardo's personal guard. Okay, this is new. Guess I ought to read those morning brief things his secretary sends me, huh? Your family dysfunction means little to me. I care only for answers. Mr. Edolasim, so wonderful to see you, my boy. For an old man with a cane, Eduardo's movements are profoundly subtle. There are few who can sneak upon me. I would be delighted to answer any questions you might have. No questions, only a demand. Find my parents. Your parents? Of course, my boy. Eduardo nods slightly to one of his syndicate core goons, and they move away with purpose. Please find Mr. Edolasim's parents. We're all terribly worried. Do not pretend to care. One moment, my boy, you must trust me. Trust you? I came to you for help, but receive only harm. The people blame me and take their rage out on my family. Ah, so you've come all this way to express a lack of gratitude. Gratitude? You forget, my boy, Boreas and Cleo are symbiotic. Cleo is forgotten, yet with my involvement it receives media attention and significant resources. Your schemes ignore Boreas's plight. Incorrect. Once Cleo stops deteriorating, Boreas's destructive seismic events will end. Both worlds saved, thanks to our fine work. Aren't you getting exactly what you wanted, Mr. Edolasim? Octane leans back casually, enjoying this far too much. Soctane obviously not. Our deal had the games come to Boreas, not Cleo. Cleo is too fragile, many will suffer. If some minor discomfort is what it takes to save the moon, that is acceptable. What is it you say? Encourage others to see the beauty around us, even in destruction. You do not know me as well as you think. I see the heart of all matters, and in you I see none. It doesn't take a heart to save the world, Mr. Edolasim. It takes will. If a little interview and a few rabble-rousers are enough to rattle you, perhaps you lack. What you lack is a backbone. It is not just rabble-rousers, it's a storm, a riot, one that took my family. And so the boy has a spine after all. Wonderful. Ah, look, right on time. A dark floating limousine descends upon us, idling. It would seem the syndicate core soldier Eduardo sent away earlier has returned. Its doors open, and my parents are not inside. Careful, old man. I have no patience for your... Eduardo indicates I get in. I couldn't trust him less. Beware your tone. You just so happen to be talking to the man who knows exactly where to find your parents. Okay. Underwater. The limousine ride with Eduardo was the strangest ride I may ever take. Elegant, decadent, all the while I'm at my wit's end. Eduardo told me in the car that he had my parents moved to a safe house for their protection. I feel little comfort in this, if ever from Eduardo always seems to have a catch. He stays in the car, but I, in a flurry, race into the building. Oh, wow, they actually gave her a portrait as well. Ego Bunda. I hug my parents tight, they fill my arms, real safe. Are you alright? Are you hurt? We are fine, son. Oluwade Milade. Milade? Pronunciation may be slightly off, but I can definitely see how Seer is a mirror reflection of his parents. I am so relieved you were okay when I saw the damage at home. We are fine. Sit, breathe. Here you go. I think our boy needs something to calm his nerves, or to warm and calm his nerves. I sit processing it all as my mother pours me some tea. They look comfortable in this strange home that lacks warmth, personality, their essence of richness. It has only the bare essentials. It is a utility, clearly nothing more than a tool to harbour people in need of sanctuary. Why did I ever get into the business with a man who has a safe house ready at a moment's notice? When you did not call, I was sure something horrible happened. People being angry with me or Mr. Silver is one thing, but being angry with you two for this, you're not involved. My boy, have I not taught you anything? When a creature is backed into a corner, it will bite. These people feel cornered, but we must not let our emotions overtake us and cause us to act rashly. Yes, this is not the first time, and it likely will not be the last. We will not bend to such threats. Their wisdom and resilience never ceases to dazzle me. If only the people of Boreas could see that this was all to help them. I wish they were not so quick to react. It would have been great if not for Eduardo's interference. I suppose... What? Why are you looking at me like that? It's just bringing the games to Boreas. You always go for the largest idea possible, and we love that about you. We think there are simpler things you could have done to help individuals first. The planet is dying, the moon is falling apart, my art can only take us so far. Someone had to do something tangible. Of course, we know that your heart is pure. We only think that under the pressure of the interview, you made a rash decision, that is all. So what, you also think I was wrong? It is just that Cleo had become so unstable, how much more can it handle, and if it gets worse, Boreas will be underwater. There is more to do, more people, or more everyone could do. Like that reporter said, we can help to rebuild communities, join the Cleo Recovery Council, send food. That reporter is awful. Oh, we know. She is wrong to imply you caused the problem or that you alone can fix everything. No one can. Nevertheless, you have many talents, my son. You should take a moment to see if there are other ways of doing things. This was my way. I fight in the games so I could bring the games to Boreas. Eduardo brought them to Cleo. Perhaps it will eventually do good for Boreas and the moon, if the moon survives it. Demi, Obi, please. I cannot believe what I'm hearing from my own flesh and blood. My face goes hot. I suddenly feel as if my last bit of stable ground is crumbling below me. So the destruction of the moon is my fault, if not as a baby, then as an adult. I am always trying to do the right thing, to help everyone on Boreas, and my own parents are not on my side. That is not what I was saying, my Rose. Obi, you're playing with fire. We're only offering alternatives. Saving the world is not your responsibility. I understand now why you did not call. You were safe. You were just ashamed of the interview of me, if I had... And his mother's now crying. Obi, I think you should leave. But I did not want... I'm so sorry. As the breeze of the night air brushes my skin, I feel I'm in free fall, unsure of where or even how I will ever land. Well, I feel a bit sorry for Seer in this one. This is a pretty shit day for him at the office, huh? Sorry, dude. You always try and do the right thing, and it just bites you in the ass. I'm sure we've all been there at some point. At least those of us with a moral compass. But, yeah, that still sucks. Low tide. Nice pair of size. I remember my hardest fought battle in the arenas. It was myself and another left in the match, all out of bullets, with only our blades left in hand. Fatigue had overtaken me. It was all I could do to keep my weapons up, but the crowd called my name, urging me to fight back and take the victory. I felt the energy, or their energy. It helped me to find strength within myself I had not realized was there. I rose to my feet and fought. I hardly recall how, but I prevailed because of their cries. They wanted to be entertained, to be inspired, and so at my performance they shouted encore. Now I sit on the stage in solitude, in the place where I made my name after the world cursed it. Now a rich and powerful man exploits our moon, and they curse me again. Encore. Isn't it ironic now? I might laugh, but my parents will not stand behind me. Someone crosses the stage behind me. I let out a sigh. I'm not ready to face the voices again, to hear their criticisms. Come to bask in your former glory. I turn to see Catalyst standing nearby. Of course, the strongest of my dissenters would be the one to appear. I should go. You don't have to leave. You were here first. I have no desire to argue with you, and I know my presence is unwanted. You're not the first to want me gone today. I began to depart, but her next word gives me pause. Stay. Why? Because I think you need this place as much as I do. She comes to stand beside me. This is one of the best places on Boreas to see the moon. Cleo in all her glory. I was not aware. A silence grows between us. We look upon the moon above the arena, its fractured pieces drifting away, however imperceptibly. It has never been whole in my lifetime, but I saw myself in its image, something beautiful and powerful that never ceases to rise despite its brokenness. Seeing it now, it just looks sad. I don't think you're a bad person, you know. Is that so? But there are consequences to what you did, and you have to face them. I just wanted to do the right thing, but you didn't. She does not speak, but I can hear the words all the same. Do you really think that what you did was the right thing? I thought it was what the people wanted me to do, that it was the right way to help after my interview with Miss Stone. I did not want to be the person she said I was. I've been working on Cleo's restoration for the last 15 years alongside hundreds of others, and I don't know if she's getting any better. Still, it's what I believe has helped her the most. Not violence and destruction, I've already seen where that leads. But you pushed to bring the games here because you thought it was what others wanted. A big move for something you're not even sure you believed in. I look into the skies gazing upon Cleo. There are lights, not stars, but ships. In my lifetime, I can only recall that much traffic going to the moon when I was scarcely more than a 3-year-old. I was convinced, or perhaps convinced myself, it was the best course of action or way forward. I acted too rashly. But I have to believe it was not for nothing. The moon is receiving the resources it needs at the cost of its people. It means the people of Boreas will be safer. Screw Boreas! You cannot mean that. Of course I do. You were an outcast, but you managed to build your own place that you could fit in. A lot of us didn't have the skills that you had or the support behind us. We needed to make that happen. Cleo welcomed us with open arms. She let us be ourselves. We found a community in each other. Those are the people I fight to protect. What about everyone else? Why would you even care about them? After so many said you were cursed. Because my mother and my father, their love kept me warm, and I know that every person on our planet gives that gift to someone else. That's what I want to protect. I will do better next time, I promise. I'll be here to see it. So they're actually now finally at peace? I'm not going to say friendly, but at peace is good enough. The tension and emotion in that story was definitely a lot more than others. My only regret is the fact that my nose consistently irritated me throughout the entire reading of that. However, that being said, that's the last bit of, content, really, aside from the send-off, that I'm going to do for this season. So, with that in mind, guess I'll see everyone in the 4th anniversary.